Hey there, viewers, and welcome back to the South Main Auto Channel. We're sitting outside in the 2010 Ford F350, the truck that built America. If you're not a Chevy guy, it is. I got towed in from another shop, but evidently it was there to do a state inspection, which they did. Slapped a sticker on it. She's got 50-some thousand miles apparently. Brand new sticker. They did some brake work, and then that was it. She no longer cranks. And there it is. They towed it here. I don't know any more than that. They said they tried to scan it to get the codes, and it just wouldn't talk with the PCM is what it sounded like. So I grabbed this little scan tool here. I've got it doing a system scan. We're going to see if it tells us anything, if we get some direction. I notice on the dash when I turn the key on, the theft light flashes very quickly. The odometer lights up with just dashes, so it likely is a no communication situation. No communication situation. I can't make this stuff up, folks. Let's see here. So open that up. I got some codes there in the four-wheel drive. ABS, we got a VIN mismatch, another U code, missing communication with the PCM. Junction box, missing communication with the instrument panel. Cluster says it can't talk to the PCM. Airbag module says it can't talk to the PCM. What else we got? What's trailer brake say? Trailer brake can't talk to the PCM. Wow. Just as we suspected, and I don't see the PCM on this list. It did not scan it, so that tells me that it does not talk. And I don't know how accurate their topology is here, but we can see on the high-speed can that the PCM is not talking, but the trailer brake is, the airbag, the instrument clutch, ABS, so probably not a networking issue would be my assumption. We're going to enter right in the PCM here to make sure it is a no-com. The key is on currently, and it is, so it's a no communication problem. So they're on the right track. So let's come up with a plan here, folks. So the plan here is we got out the old laptop. I brought this with me just in case. The Think tool here does not have a web browser on it, which is slightly annoying for when you want to look up a few little things. Annoying like how dark this camera is. So I'm going to find powers and grounds for the PCM. We're going to get a test light. We're going to go out and do some poking and hoping. We'll see where the PCM lives, and if it's easily accessible, we'll check it right there. Obviously, we'll see what fuses are associated with it. Perhaps just check those first would be the smartest thing to do, and then go right for it. Powers, grounds, and ability to communicate. We got your classic scope on a rope. One thing I noticed, folks, walking around this little guy, she used to be a town truck for a local municipality, so that explains why it's low mileage. But the thing to keep in mind with that might not sound like a big deal to a lot of people. The municipality trucks around here just get beat right to sugar. They're usually, by the time they hit the auction, they're half destroyed. They've had snow plows on them, and every Tom, Dick, and Harry's had their little digits in there doing the wiring, to add radios and stuff. So that's something to keep in mind. I printed this out what I think we need, and it appears that there's lots of grounds, several powers, looks like 3 powers, 4 powers, and 5 grounds or so at the PCM. I did find 2 fuses that I see that seem to be associated with power in the PCM, so we're going to check those. So fuse 36 and fuse 76, and it says here left rear of engine compartment. So this little guy back here. What's up, Mrs. O? Question for somebody on the phone. Oh, it's nice and dusty in here, folks. Okay, let's answer Mrs. O's question. Kind of tough recording outside, folks, but it's a little bit easier than pulling this in if we don't have to. 76 and 36. So there's 36. That's that little guy right there. 76 is way down. How does this thing go? 76 is down here. So it must go like this. So 76 appears to be of the 20 amp variety. Oh yeah, and that's what it is right there. So that must be right. So let's grab our little scope on the rope. 76. Looks like hot at all times, perhaps. Negative, Ghost Rider. That one's dead. That one lights up. So our test light's good. We got nothing on 76. Neither side. That's kind of weird. How about 36? 36 appears to be of the 10 amp variety down there, 10 amp up here. Power and power. So we got power there, but we got no power on 76, which you guys will have to play along because I can't see you. So 76 gets its power from the PCM relay. Well, what in the thunder turns the PCM relay on? Because if the PCM relay turns that on, that's kind of stupid. If the PCM doesn't work. Big dummy. PCM relay is powered off fuse number 50, which is a 30 amp. Let's check that one. Fuse 50. Which is the third one up. Which appears to be good. Let me pop the top off it. It's a J-cage fuse. Come on, mother loving son of... Got it. So let's pop the lid off so we can check it. It looks good. So we're going to slide that back on there and then we're going to see if that little guy has power. Okay, she's got power on both pegs. So we have power coming into the relay, but I don't know what it takes to turn that PCM relay on, or if that even really matters in this case. Yeah, because number 36 is one of the powers to the PCM. How about this other? I got another one highlighted here. Let me just see where that one comes from. Fuse 71, which is a 5 amp. Where does that go? Let me just see. I should have took better notes. 71, 5 amp. Must be this one right here. And that one's got power, so that's interesting. So I don't know if we're really on to something there, because it appears the power that's not making it there is one from the PCM relay, which the PCM turns on. So that's kind of something there. So what I might try to do, just for poop and laughter, just power up that fuse to see if we can talk to the PCM. That's the test light hooked to power. I grabbed our tool here. It's kind of silly when you hit the button, it erases everything you've had programmed in. So it's kind of a stupid feature on it. Oh, I just heard it ding. I'm gonna hold the test light there. I'm just gonna go generic OBD2. We'll hit OK. We'll see if it can identify itself. So I'm just powering up the side. Oh yeah, it came up with a match already. So this is interesting. So look at that. Readiness not complete. Yeah. Boom. So yeah, we can talk to it. Pulled the VIN. Let me go get SMA's most eligible bachelor. See if we can't start this thing up and get it inside. Well, I hold this here. Hold on a second. Hey Jay! We'll see if this pile of Ford starts. Hey, will you see if this beast will start and run? Try to start it? Yeah. Hey, look at that. All this guy needs is a test light, a Jason, and fuse jumper somehow. Okay, so we made progress. Thanks, Jake. Key's still on, right? Yep. That's good, thank you. Yeah, that's fine. So that's interesting, folks. I almost half didn't expect it to fire right up right there. what we need to do, so the wires that we jumped, or the wire that we jumped, the fuse that we jumped, is the output of the PCM relay. So when the PCM relay is on, when it, let's see here, let me find out. So when this PCM relay is on, it powers up all of these fuses here. So all I did is, whichever fuse we were after, fuse 76 is 20 amp, we took our powered test light and we hooked it to it, you know, therefore providing power, which, you know, feeds the PCM. We know that the 50 amp fuse that feeds the PCM power relay is good. We check, or the 30, yeah, fuse number 50, the 30 amp is good, that feeds that power relay. What I think I would like to try is we're going to find the PCM relay. I don't know why the PCM relay isn't turning on. These are not labeled, these are just labeled 1, 2, 3. So let's grab our computer, let's find the PCM relay, let's pull it out, and let's check to see what we have at the relay. Do we have the 2 powers? So we should have power on 85 and 30. And then are we getting the grounding command from the PCM to turn it on? And if we're not, do we have a broken wire, or am I missing a step of the process here as far as what it takes to turn it on? Both are potential. What a pain in the hoo-hoo. It says this one here in the bottom left. Right by this freaking bracket. Let's see if we can't get it up on out of there. Come on, baby. I feel like an idiot. Come on. Alright, we gotta get some pliers. We're back. Stupid cars. Jeez Louise. Okay, there's our relay. Woo! What do we got? 30, 85 and 30, right? 85 and 30 should have power. And number 85 is over here, we have power. Number 30 is over here, we have power. And then, who's got my ground? 86. Let's switch our test light over here. Hold on, folks. We're switching our test light to battery plus. Bear with me. Okay, battery plus. Technically, anything we touch should light up, and it does. Who are we looking for? Who's the bad guy? 86 over here. Okay, so the relay's not even being commanded on. Otherwise, this test light would light. Right? That is true, Eric. So this is not being commanded on. So piece of cake, I tell you what. We need to figure out why. Why are you not being turned on? Let me go get a relay jumper so we can just jumper a wire to it. We can drive this truck around inside. And then I'm going to do a little bit of research as far as what does it take to turn this little guy on. Now, should we still go back to the PCM powers grounds? Because something has to turn the PCM on to turn this on, and that's kind of where I'm at, or what I'm thinking. So yeah, let's get a relay jumper so we can jumper this, turn it on, and then get our truck inside. So I'm just going to use just a relay bypass. It's turned off right now. We're just going to very gingerly stick it in there because we don't want it to get stuck. So we turn it on, we can hear the throttle body and all that junk turn on. So let's take all of our junk, put it in our trunk, set that down right here on the clipboard. We'll take our scan tool. We're going to fire this pig up. We're going to get it out of the sunshine because I'm not a mobile tech. I can't do this crap. However, we will give a shout out to our mobile tech guys out there. Doing this outside every day at different shops, I couldn't do it. I've been too spoiled by having all my stuff in the shop. Guys, I think of like Ivan and Keith Perkins over at L1 Auto Diagnostics. Of course, Ivan from Pine Hollow, you guys know him. Brian Mann from Hands-On Auto Training, I believe it is. And, you know, Keith DeFazio at running the Staten Island Express back in the day when he was doing that. Corey over at S&A. All of the mobile guys, even all the ones I forgot. I don't know how they do it. But they do a lot of mobile programming and stuff. But I don't know, I went down and hung out with Keith quite a few times. It's not my bag of chips. Because all you're working on is absolute piles of crap all day long. Everybody else's problems. I guess that's kind of what I do here, but come to think of it. But you know what I mean. At least I get some breaks here in between the ones where everybody's been touching. So it still starts and runs. Famous last words. Negative, Ghost Rider. Maybe because I got to shut it off and then back on is my assumption. Never fear, folks. It's back running again. So I think it's just a sequence of events of, you know, shutting it off with the PCM relay still powered up. So not to worry there. While we're sitting right here in front of the shop, I'm going to take and look up some information here and see what I can find and relay that information back to you. So before I start looking stuff up, I just wanted to see how everybody's feeling now. And it appears that, you know, once we clear all the old no-com codes out of it, that we're left with 2 codes. Our classic P1000s, and our monitors are not complete, and then, you know, something going on with transfer case circuit, which I see it sounds like it kicks in and out, lights up on the dash. So with this bypass, it seems to be happy. So that's also something worthy to know. So instead of digging through a bunch of service data, folks, I tapped into connector B, pin 37, brown with a white stripe. That's going to be the control for that PCM relay, and I've got us a test light, hooked the battery positive. So I'm thinking if we probe this, when we turn that key on, if the PCM is good, it'll light up. If it doesn't light that up, then I'm going to have to go back with our plan we just stated, where we look for service data and see what it takes to turn it on. But let's go flick the key on here. Oops. Right now the key is on. Wow, be jiggered. Look at that. She lit up. So you know what that tells us? We have to 100% have a broken wire. And it has to be broken. It cannot be shorted. It has to be broke. And that lights up. So the next $1 million question, or I guess to prove this theory, we could just run a jumper wire from here to the relay and it should turn itself on. I tagged a jumper wire in there. Took our test light, hooked it to battery negative, and I put a relay extension on that sucker, and then we'll have to see which one's the pin that turns it on. Oh, it must be this one here. We get dim test light, and I hear it clicking. So we'll let that go. We'll hook our jumper wire to it. Gosh dang it. Don't want it to short out on the other one. So that's hooked up to that. So technically, if we get rid of this, now it should be able to start and stop with the key as designed. Let me just set this stuff down here. The OG box, there she is still. Still haven't finished my projects here. Key's on, so I heard it click. Yeah. Oops, let me shut it off because it might have screwed up from clicking it on and off so much. Yeah, it doesn't like to be taken out of sequence. Wait a minute, this guy told me I had 50,000. I seen 100 and something. Fucking 28. Liar. Anyhow, that's that. So 100% broken wire, no questions asked, folks. Awesome. We don't want to lose that. So now what, folks? We can leave it just like this and send it on its way. Ah, crapola. I hate doing wire overlays just because wherever this sucker is broke, there's bound to be more stuff. But like I say, this truck is rotted. Did a visual inspection across that whole harness from that PCM all the way over. Although there are a multitude of rub spots, I didn't see anything that was green that pertained to the wire that we were after. You know, a lot of green wires coming up to looks like purge solenoid, and you know, a ton of other rub spots. Extremely piss poor made truck. Who would voluntarily work on these things every day? I don't know. I mean, just like I say, just the amount of rub spots and stuff on this harness is just baffling to me. And I'm not even talking, you know, the aftermarket junk, but anyways, I was able to get this box up and out. Lots of swearing. I mother up this thing all the way to the top to get it out because this truck is super rotted. All I want to do is be able to get in here and bypass it and or find the corrosion in the box here. So I'm going to try to get this bottom off without too many casualties. I was quite a while getting this out, folks. The wire for the main power feed's way in the back. That nut was rotted right off. I was able to get a twist socket on it. But I'm going to work at getting this opened up. See what we can find. I go get a couple more pocket screwdrivers. Let's see, it's this relay down here, the one that we have out. So let's see if we can just twist this around. It was brown and white. Josh, you give me a pair of side cutters, please. There's a zip tie. I want to get this tray out of the way. But I see what do I see down here? I see an empty pin. I don't know what it is, but it looks too far away to be what we need, but it does look pretty crappy and crusty down here. Thank you. Do you need my help, yeah? Yeah. Okay. I'll be just a minute. Let's see if we got a broken wire here. So there's a zip tie on that. That takes the bottom cover off, right full of dust and dirt. Let's see, we were down this relay right here. Brown and white. Brown and white. There's your broken wire, fella. A new visual inspection wouldn't let us down, so yeah, there's our broken wire. Brown with white. Rotted right out of the bottom of the fuse box. This jumper wire that goes over to the other fuses is all looking pretty rough. This whole bottom of the fuse box is looking pretty rough. I think what I'm going to elect to do is, I don't know yet. I'm going to walk away from it because I'm a little bit hot. So here's what we're doing, folks. I just popped the terminal out. Terminal itself is clean. You know, obviously I don't have a new terminal, but I just wrapped the wire all the way around it, cut the corroded part off, and soldered it to it. The fact of the matter is, this thing's pretty crusty all across the back. We're going to try to leave sleeping dogs lie. We're going to click this back up in where it belongs, hopefully, if the clicker still clicks. Let me get a pocket screwdriver here. So now that that baby's up in there, we'll get everything snapped back together. And the only thing we can really do at this point is, just because of the amounts of corrosion here, we'll just blast it with fluid film, and I'll just let them know, you know, what's going on here and what we see and what the fix is, which, you know, technically is prohibitive on this vehicle. You know, at this point you would just shit can the whole truck, because putting, you know, a fuse box and a wiring harness on it, as rotted as it is, would be, you know, absolutely ridiculous to do. So, and then this harness also goes inside, so it would just be absolutely pointless to try to, you know, source a fuse box and actually fix it properly. So just like I say, mostly given the overall condition of the truck and just how severely rotted it is. So our fix, I think, is good for what we're working with. I'm going to fluid film it, stuff it back together, and have a nice day. I got her back down in there, folks. Sprayed it, clicked it, stuck it in there. Put the PCM connector back together. Just hooked the battery back up. Of course, I fixed my hokey pokey I did. Technically, this junker should run now. Haven't started it yet. Come on, baby. Just run for me. Hallelujah. We are DUN done. So we'll leave it at that, folks. Sorry to be a whiny crybaby pissy pants towards the end. And I don't work on Fords a lot, but when I do, I'm just pissed off the whole time. Take my hat off. Not for you, but for Ford Tech Mackie Loco, the Ford guy on the YouTube, Brian. To choose to work on these piles of every single day, I salute you, man. I don't know how you do it. These are probably my least favorite brand in the domestic line to work on. Not sure how good they are as far as a truck. A lot of municipalities have them and stuff, so I just assume that is because they're the lowest bid, you know, cheapest to buy on state bid, because that's usually what they buy, is just the cheapest. Not necessarily the best, or not necessarily the one that fulfills a purpose, but the cheapest. And you can't blame them. And I could blame you if you didn't go in that comment section to leave your questions, your comments, your concerns. Be sure to hate on me for hating on Fords and Chevys and Dodges and every other car for that matter, because they're all junk. And just remember, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching.